Hello everyone, welcome to our call. This is our sixth call, and we will talk about Blend for Visual Studio 2013 and animations. So basically, this session will be a really key milestone, especially for the developers, because we are we have a kind of distance between the development side and also design side. But Blend is a really amazing the tool in order to use it in our applications. So we will see some tips and tricks in our applications, and then we can talk about after this session. If you have any question or if you have an ask, please feel free to ask any question. Especially you can watch the video after this session, but the main purpose of these calls are getting questions from your side and making more interactive. And also, if you have any feedback or any requests from my side, please use my Twitter address or my email address to ask any question to me. So first of all, let me introduce myself for the people who joined this call at the first time. So my name is Ibrahim, and I'm working as a technical evangelist and Middle East and Africa DP team. So basically, we are covering all the region regarding to supporting all developers in the region, like the companies, the indie developers. So we are really looking forward for your the applications in the coming future. So this is my blog address and also my Twitter address. I will give some details. So you can access the previous the calls, previous 6 sessions before. The first session was all the resources and material part. We have a kind of roadmap. In this roadmap, you can access all related resources regarding Windows 8.1, and you can check where you are, and you can check the other resources you haven't seen before. And especially I really suggested to you going one by one for those resources on that PowerPoint presentation. And again, if you have any question or if you have any concern, please just let me know. So basically, we have 10 sessions in kind of the agenda. So this is the 6th call. So you can access all other sessions from aka.ms/win8 online sessions. So this is in my blog, and you can go there and you can check upcoming events as well. So there is no slide for Blend for Visual Studio right now. So basically, we will move on with a live sample. So we will have a look at that, the cool features of Windows 8.1 with Blend for Visual Studio. So let me keep as it is. Basically, we have a new logo for Blend for Visual Studio, and at the same time, we have a new the UI for that. So as you see, this logo has been updated. So as a previously, that this was a different one, and this is again this is our Visual Studio. So Blend for Visual Studio is coming with Visual Studio. Whenever you download that, it is coming as a built-in, and you can easily access that. So basically, we will start developing an application. In order to see that, we will discover this platform first, and then I will open Visual Studio, and we will also compare it as well. In order to create a new project, I will go for this, creating a new project as a basic step. Then after that, there are several options. I can select XAML for Windows Store, in order to create blank application, create application or hub or split, or the class libraries or something like that, which is really important for and which is really needed for XAML applications. At the same time, we have HTML support, HTML for Windows Store applications. As you know, this is just a pure HTML, but which is accessing to our operating system libraries through the JavaScript. Because of that, we are saying that we call it chakra. The chakras are basically embedded version of HTML and also JavaScript. So this means whenever you develop an application on this platform, this will only run on Windows Store applications. moving forward, like, you can also create Windows Phone applications from this one. Like, nearly like all the things, like all the pure XAML is the same. But there are several like different components, like the long list selector or like pivot or panorama inside of the Windows Phone, which is not available on Windows 8. And also same thing with like we have like grid view or hub view, but in Windows Phone there is no. Like these kind of changes, like these kind of different components, other than these components, like nearly all of the things, all of the pure XAML animations, like all the things are the same. Like end of this session, like you will be able to create like Windows Phone animations as well, like or at the same time, like the WPF and Silverlight. I'm really not sure have you ever worked with these tools before. So these tools are like basically using the XAML in order to create with desktop application with WPF and web application with Silverlight. This is just an add-on, and for the business application, these are still very powerful tools. So very popular tools at the same time in the business area. So like if you wanted to like have a look at that, just check it. Again, this is the same XAML, same the same C# code. Like you can use the same thing. So we will move with like the XAML and blank application right now. So I will create an application and then let me browse it into my online sessions. So I will save this sample again, and then you can access easily on my blog. So I will say it like application or blend sample application or blend XAML application. So basically, you can select any versions of it. Like, if you wanted to develop in different platforms, right now it's available for only Windows 8.1. At the same time, you can select a language for that. As you know, like, XAML is working with C#, Visual Basic, and at the same time, C++. So this is just, the basic update, and then, you can select any languages from here, and then continue like the building an application. As I mentioned before, this will be on C# and XAML, and then, we will continue with this particular changes. So this is our environment, like for the development side. This is our IDE. Like, as you know, this looks more like a designer tool, like a Photoshop or like, all other like, the designing tools. Like, as you see on the left side, there's a tools menu, like with a hand, like with vectoral arrow, normal arrow, and then like the color picker, like the paint, like gradient. Like, these kind of features are available. And also you can draw some vectoral drawing with the pen tool. And also you can access some rectangle, ellipse and line from here. At the same time, you can access all other components from the left side. And you can access like last selected one, like the text block or something like that, or button, which is showing you like the most popular like the tools what you are using. At the same time, like the different things. So what will we do is like we will have a look at like all of them, like in order to see like how it works. And at the same time, we have a projects area, like from here. You can access like the Visual Studio assets like this. So what can we do is like basically you can open this project in Visual Studio as well. So first of all, let's see the differences and also like the similarities, and then we will have like some really cool demos which you cannot do in Visual Studio, like the animations or like the assigning something. So like you will see that. So basically like the same thing, like we have like projects on the left side in here, but in Visual Studio we have on the right side, like which is the same thing basically. For example, if you wanted to open this one in your like blend IDE, what can you do is you can right click and you can open in blend. So whenever you say that, like it will open in blend. So right now it is open in here, so we don't have to do that. So the good thing is, so for example, if I just wanted to select anything from here, like a rectangle or something like that, I can easily draw on my space then whenever, you can see like the unsaved one from here. Whenever I save this project, like this one, and then if I will go to Visual Studio, like it will automatically update it, and it asks for me, like, do you accept it? Whenever I say yes, like that drawing appears in here. So this means like designers and developers can work on the same project at the same time, and then they can do the multiple updates on the same project. For example, developers can work on anything from here, like with basic stuff. For example, they can put some buttons inside of the project, or they can put some, just the basic ellipse or basic stuff inside of there, like instead of like the creating, like implementing some creatives inside of the project. Then designers can take this design, like designers can take this one, the same project, whenever I save it, so they can modify it from here, like modifying by colors, modifying by maybe like the height and also width, like it is all up to you, like, and also like the alignment, maybe like transformation, like it is all up to you, like it is all up to your designer's selection. And also like we will see like what are the differences or what are the really cool features of this platform, and how can we benefit from these abilities. I mentioned that before, like we are creating applications that are like hundreds, thousands of applications on store, but how can we create a really high quality applications? Like high quality means like giving a story to user, and then they can get the same concept in every single place in the application. So we have a community application in the region, like called Mia Influencer. So www.miainfluencer.com, you can go there and you can download it. So the basic, this is just showing a really nice, the features and design concept of our platform. For example, this one is designed in Blend, and like every single particular side of this project is there. Like you can follow all Twitters from the Mia Influencer hashtag, and you can see the designs like the circular one, and then at the same time you can see more and more details. So for example, if we will go to the events or something like that, you can see the upcoming events. So whenever you go any of them, for example, Blend for Visual Studio right now, it's happening. You can see the details, and you can see the all the design concept. For example, whenever I click on my icon, in here, so it will take me to my profile. But whenever you see that, it is the same concept what you have seen in the different pages, and then you can see my the social networks, the events or blogs or something like that. You can check it from here. Whenever you go to the different topics, for example, events are here. For the blogs, for example, let's say whenever you click there, you will just go to that specific website in this application. But as you see, this is just sharing the same slab, the same concept. This is just one of the nice examples for how can you reimagine, how can you create new application on this platform. So aim of this call is the same, using Blend with having a really high quality and world standard application, for your applications. So do you have any questions so far? If you have, don't hesitate to ask from here. I will check regularly, and if there is a question, I will try to answer that. So basically, you can access the all tools, the all components, the all how can I say, the objects in your IDE, in your timeline. You can see from here, this is just objects and timelines. The objects are here, your rectangle, your button, your grid inside of that. If you have the app bar, it will appear from here. You can check it from here, and you can see the the orders in the page. For example, whenever you move this one, let me change the color of rectangle in order to see it clearly. So for example, whenever you move this one, rectangle is at the down, but whenever you move this one onto the left, onto the down, so So it went to do like button. So for example, when you move button to up, so like, you know, this rectangle will go up. Or at the same time, you can do the same thing like with mouse. For example, I select button right now, I right click there, and then, you know, you can just, you know, use the order for that, like bring to front or bring to forward. Like it's all up to you. You can do the same thing in here as well. But whenever you do that, like on the left side, like order has been changed. So like to think about like these scenarios, and then you can use it in your application. So this is from the left side, and we have animation timeline. So we will see that, like, you know, you can create a new animations with clicking here, like accepting this one, or again, like, you know, you can just creating from here, like for example, storyboard. And then there is a timeline. Like this timeline is, you know, the same thing with like animation movies, or like, you know, the all new movie concept. Like if you are familiar with like these kind of tools, like the Flash or like the different like the movie applications or like video editing applications, you will be familiar. In a time, for example, like the 0 second, like in 1 second or 2 seconds, you know, this is all up to you. Like, you know, you can also change the like the view of it with like the control and also like the mouse cursor, what I am doing right now. And also you can change the zoom level from here. Like, you know, you can go to more details from like this level of zoom. So I will use just 100. So for example, in 1 second, you will mention that like this element is selected at 0, and at 1 second, this will move to right side. So this means like the center of that object was here, and then you move to here. So this means like this object has been moved to here. So let me like here. This object has been moved to here in 1 second. So like you can also preview this one like from here. Like you can move back to the 0, and then whenever you play press, so it will move to that exact place whenever you play that. So this is just a basic one, like the single one. And also, like, you know, you can select those things and you can give some functions. So we will have a look at that. I will remove it right now. So I select it like this, and then press delete for deleting that. So whenever you want to close this animations, like there is a close button, or if there are multiple animations, you can select from here. So like, you know, this is all up to you. So this means I will close this storyboard, and then, you know, I will go back to my like the demo. So like I will record it again. So there is a question. The question is double animation. What is that? Okay, you know, I will like explain it inside of like the XAML code. Like the double animations means like whenever you create these kind of animations. So let me go back. Let me Control Z to have the same thing again. Like whenever you create these animations, let me close it. So inside of the XAML, like in page resources, it is creating a source. Like this source is like, you know, storyboard. Like storyboard 1, the name, like you can access through the, like, you know, your code behind side as well. Then after that, like, you know, you can see like the timeline, like the double animation using it. Double animation means like, you know, why there is no integer animations or why there is no float animations. This means like, you know, this is just the timing, and also this is just the value. Like every single time, like, you know, due to the frame rates, like, you know, one tick is like the moving, and this means like every single second, every single millisecond, like there should be animation. So like in those animations, like you can see also like the value as a double as well. So because of that, like it is just showing as a double animation. For example, let's say if I will go back to my design side, and if I will like select this rectangle, and if I will select the color in a different color, like if I change it in this place, for example, let's say it will be white, so it will say like it will go to dark blue to white, so you will see the differences. So whenever you check animations, like it will say that color animation, like, you know, this is the same thing like that. Double animations means like describing like the flow of those things, and like the color animations is defining for like this kind of thing. So that is just a definition. If we will go back, like we will talk about like some other features. Whenever you select any single object from here, like button or rectangle, you can see on the right side there is like the properties. Like these are just the common one. Like from the properties, what can you do is like you can easily access like all properties of this selected object. Like the colors, you can give some different colors, or like you can give some gradients. But if you have animations, it might affect that animation as well. Please take care of like this thing. Like if you wanted to design any object, please do it at the beginning, because otherwise it may hurt your animations or something like that inside of the application. So there are some other questions. Can we use animations all kind of controls like separate item, long list selectors? Yes, you can do that, but it depends on what you really want to do. Like if you means like transition, whenever you like load something, so do you mean by like transition will go up, like it will enter like slowly or something like that? So if that means, yes, like the name is like transitions like element transition, or not element, like control transition. So you can see that. So especially like it is available inside of like the grid view, like the all things in like Windows 8 application. By the way, you mentioned that long list selector is not available on Windows 8.1. That is just a Windows Phone Windows Phone element, but I am really not sure is there any really like implemented transitions. So like if there is no transition like embedded, like you won't be able to like have it automatically. You need to do it hard coded. So if you will go back, like on the right side, like you can change the colors, for example, like from black to white, or you can change it to like yellow to white, or yellow to orange, or yellow to green. Like you can change the yellow to black. You can change the the gradient of it. The good thing is like there are lots of updates. There are lots of how can I say tip points, like the tricks for like blend. So if you wanted to change the rotation, like you can change it like reverse like gradients like directly, or you can just change the like strange of your color like this, or at the same time you can add new colors, and then you can just define something different inside of here. Like it is all up to you. Like this is all up to your call. For this one, this will require some like design skills, but with the practice you can also get it as well. At the same time, like when you check it, like you can change the rotation of the gradient. Like whenever you click here, like gradient tool, so this will show you like your gradient flow, gradient direction. So for example, you can select like this, and you can change it like this. At the same time, you can change the color stroke change in here. So whenever you like change it, like you will see that like it will move. So for example, same thing with the black. So whenever you move that, like black will move as well. So you can also have a very sharp colors. So like this is all up to your scenario. Like just decide what you really want to do, and then do it inside of the like the blend after that. There are questions. The question is like Hamza is not retrieving any audio. I guess there is no problem, right? So anyone can hear you. Yeah, like Hakan is like adding some information. Like for animation inside of the local list selector. So how can he create like these kind of things? So like the point, I will also like having a problem with audio. I guess problem is like from your side, but recording will be available. I guess you cannot hear as well. Like for Hakan's question is like you need to go to like the selected item, like whenever you have some grid view or something like that, or list view. So you need to have a, how can I say it? You need to have a template for that, like generated item template. Whenever you create a template, so you will define that animations in that template inside of that. For example, let's create a data template, and then whenever you create something inside of that, also like a part of the Visual Studio, like there are states. Like for the states means like in like which the situations what will happen, what this application will do. So it is not this item template, but most probably it will be inside of the generated items. Like let me create an empty one. So yes, this one. So this means like whenever you define something there, like when you press or when you disable or when you pointer over, like this means mouse over or your finger over, like something for like the different states. You can see that focus or unfocus. You can define like the different designs, like different things inside of that. Like just have a look at here, and then you can see that like when you select it or when you swipe it or when you unselect it, what will happen. You can just go for there and you can just check it. Like if you require for more the details on that side, also we can add a like separate session for that, and then we can have a look at that inside of that session. So I will remove this one and continue with our existing content right now. So this is just a basic one, and then you can see the lots of like the details regarding your selected elements inside of there. So for example, when you say like the appearance, like when you can see like the opacity of it or visibility of it, when you change the opacity, like you will see that like in here, like this will this will be fade away. And same thing for like radius, like for the corners. So whenever you make it like bigger, so like the corners will be like more rounded, and then you can see it in here like this. Like my suggestion would be just go there and just select, just play with like the all features in here, and then to see like what are these like the attributes does to like to your selected element. So then you can see the differences, and then whenever it will be needed, you can just go there and you can play with it. Please go there and please check like these resources, like these attributes on the right side. We have very limited time right now, so like we will just go out of it. So I removed it. So what will we do is right now, like we will have a look at to like other segments. For example, like resources in here, like whenever you add something inside of your project, for example in button or something like that, you can see in the resources. Or if you like define some data template, you can easily move the applications XAML, or you can just reorder like those elements as well, those designs as well. For the data, like if you have it like the static data, you can easily define a sample data from here, like creating a new one, or creating a data from your like XML data source, or like if you have a ready class, you can use it through here. Like this is very easy to use that. So there are some questions. Let me check it. So I guess we answered your question, Hakan. So yes, the suggestion is rejoining the call, like if you have an audio problem. Or this is just another suggestion, please do that. So no, like the question is different, Gordon. Like Hakan's question is like whenever you select any item inside of the long list selector, just giving like the different kind of animations when it will be selected or not. So I guess, you know, I answered that thing. So the question is, can we export this animation to video file? Unfortunately, no. Like, you know, you can just, you know, create an application and you can just play inside of that, and we will see it right now. So, so the question is, why we didn't have the support of like the sample data before it come after a long time? Like the sample data is, you know, it came recently because, like, you know, this has been built recently, these versions of the blend. Like this is not like a kind of old blend. So there were like, you know, different changes like in the architecture, and because of that, they changed it like, you know, in a different way. So because of that, it has been a long time. For example, it was available in expression blend, but it was not available in here, or same thing with the behaviors as well. So like the day by day, it is like it is just improving. So like in the coming days, we will see like really more stronger blend. So, you know, let's just wait for the updates. So hopefully we will have like those quality, not the quality, like, you know, the higher expectations from our like the design tools. Okay. So the question is, normally like in the animation process, a constant acceleration, can we change that? So like the acceleration means like whenever like, you know, define an animation, it will get slower or it will be like, you know, faster. Do you mean like that, Rudvan? If it is like that, yes, we can do that, and I will show it right now. So the first of all, like before going to the animations, I just wanted to like, you know, have a look at the other things. So for example, we have devices like on the left side. Like devices means like you can just simulate like the different views. Right now we are just running on this resolution, 1024 to 768. So like in order to see that, like you can check it, like, you know, you can select this one and then your design area will fit to this design, this ratio. But if you want to like develop in really higher you know, the resolutions, whenever you select it, like, you know, the resolution will be changed. And also at the same time, whenever you select really you know, high DPIs, like, you know, really big DPIs, then, you know, you can see it like this. Like it is all up to you and all up to your scenario. Like, you know, just check it from here. Like these are just the basics of the blend. Like, you know, whenever you want to change like the light theme to like, you know, the dark theme, like, you know, here is the like, you know, available thing. Then, you know, you can just select it and you can just, you know, define it from here. Like in order to see it easily in your browser, let me make it like this. And also same time, for example, for the snap view, like if you wanted to like support less than 500 pixels, so like, you know, you need to select this one, 320. So this was, you know, the only one selection in Windows 8 applications, but Windows 8 applications, it is just supporting built-in 500 pixels as built-in. But if you wanted to make it smaller, so you can use this one and have a smaller V1 snap view, like, you know, like this. So this is just supporting 320. But if you wanted to get more, like, you know, you can just, you know, have bigger one. So this is all up to you. So, and also there are like, you know, other things, show the Chrome, like, you know, whenever you select it, you cannot see the Chrome of your, like, you know, that device. But if you wanted to develop a kind of, like, you know, in a virtual reality environment, so you can use like this, like, you know, you can see like other sections. Like, you know, there are lots of different sections. For example, if you wanted to like test this application on your local machine, like, you know, the same thing with the Visual Studio, like, let me apply all. So whenever I save that, you know, my design area has been updated as well. So like this, you know, you can just select wherever you want to run this application from your local machine or your simulator. Like, you know, just select one of them and then, you know, you can run it there. So same thing in here. You can just change it from there and you can just, you know, use it in here. This is also one of the new updates in like in Blend for Visual Studio. And also at the same time, like, you know, you can preview like, you know, your field mode or your just snap view, like how it will look like. So you can just have a look at that here. And same thing with the orientation, like if you want to support. So these are the just, the basic features, and then, you can just have a look at that inside of there. So there are some questions. Yes, Rıdvan's question is like, we will see in the animation section right now. So whenever you, whenever you define an animations, like you can also add some, like the transitions inside of that, like, accelerators. So we will see that, like, you can make it slower, you can get it, like faster, like we will see there. So the question is, okay. Okay, like that, I just want to define in like in that list view, like you need to just to select that, like the selected session or something like that. Like you need to do that thing like from the edit template side, edit template generated items. List view or like a grid view or something like that. Like you can just do that thing. So okay, question is like whenever like you develop an application on different resolutions. So whenever like you change the resolution like the size in a different machine, your application will not look like the same. So in order to solve this problem, like first of all, you can define in different like the different organized resolutions. So in order to do that, you can just align all the elements inside of your project. So for example, let's say like I will do a really basic one, like I will just put a rectangle, and also this is just inheritance like the previous design. So for example, I just designed this thing. Let's say your page fit to this design, but whenever you change to like a different size, like there will be a gap on the right side, or whenever you change it to a really bigger screen, it will look like this. So the solution for that, there are a couple of solutions. First of all, like it will be a vectorial, or if it will be like just an image or something like that, you can just lock from here and lock from right side as well, and then this will fit the page. So whenever you change a design like ratio, then resolution it will change it, but the ratio will not be the same. So for example, this one, or like the different DPIs. Like your image quality should be really higher, or at least you need to define it in the vectorial drawing. But if you want to share the like ratio of your like a project, what can you do is you can just, for example, this rectangle, you can just use a element called VBox. Like the VBox is basically an element in order to like scale your application. So for example, this is also like locked to the like four sides of your application. So what can you do is whenever you change the resolution, like it will just make it bigger or make it fit to the page, fit to the size. Like, but it is just saving the same ratio, but you are just getting bigger the design in your application. This is one of them, and also there are like lots of options. Like you can just do the same thing for like like the different sizes. For example, you can uniform. This is just uniforming. You can just fill. You can just uniform fill. Like this is all up to you. Like there are several choices. Just pick one of them. I hope I answered that thing. For the grid items, like same for the grid items. Oh, like for the grid items, what can you do is like we just put the VBox, right? Like to a rectangle. What can you do is like you can just have a grid inside of that VBox, and like I did the same thing for here, for example. You have a grid, and on the top of that you have a VBox on that grid view. So this means like this, for example, rectangle fit to the grid. Again, like the same method. Whenever you change the resolution, this is just having the same thing. So the only thing is you need to have that grid inside of the view box. I hope I answered that question as well. Okay, this is just the basic steps. So right now, what can we do? We can just, design anything inside of our, blend. For example, if you wanted to draw something like, rectangle ellipse, you can do it from here. There is no worry. So let me change this design. Okay, let me make it white. So for example, if you wanted to draw some lines, you can do it from here. And then, you can change the size of that. And you can change the stroke thickness. For example, 20 is really bigger, 15. For the stroke, I will make it white. So as you see, for that path, that line, you can, the changes. At the same time, we have some vectoral drawing tools. For example, like this one. So you can just select any, the places inside of there, and then, you can just change the size of it, or you can just give some different things. For example, if you wanted to give the different things, give the different the points inside of there, you can also add some points inside of here. So let me select this one, and whenever you make it bigger, you can select it, or you can add new points inside of there. It is all up to you. So for example, with the pen, you can just design some vectoral drawings. It is all up to you right now. I'm just drawing some random stuff there. So for example, fill is white. So let me make it yellow, and then stroke will be the white. So whenever you see this, so you can see the differences. Let me change it to dark blue instead of yellow. So for example, you can have these kind of drawings, and then for example, think about it. If you draw some characters in your game application or something like that, you can define like this. And then the good thing of the vectoral drawing is whenever you make it bigger, the quality will be the same. Whenever you make zoom inside of there, the quality will be always same and always a high quality. So this means in the different all resolutions, you can have the same experience. You can provide the same the details to your users. So at the same time, if you wanted to modify this thing, you can select this direct selection, and then you can just move it there, or just the change rotation. You can just draw some characters. You can just define what will happen. For example, it crashed. So you can just use these tools. This is just the drawing skills, but you need to practice a lot. So you can just have it like this. So there was a question. So the grid view. For the grid view, it is the same. There is no problem. So for the grid view, you need to put there, you need to put it inside of the view box. Everything's the same. So moving forward, we have this one, for the vectoral drawing. So what if we just wanted to have the different things? For example, if we have some, for example, as an assets, Photoshop files or Adobe Illustrator files, what will happen? So for example, let's start with Adobe Illustrator file. So there's a really cool feature of blend. What can you do is you can just import these kind of files into your project. So let me go there. For example, this is the logo from a Kenyan friend. So this is just the design of it. So whenever you open this one, all Adobe Illustrator design or vectoral drawing is defined in paths, in XAML. The path means defining the points, defining everything inside of the project, and then you can have it like this. And at the same time, you can modify it, you can give the white color, or you can just change the size of it or change the rotation of it. For example, let's say if you wanted to change the rotation or something like that. So you can just use this, like this, and then you can change all the sizes and all the things inside of there. So this is really good. Like, if you wanted to have really bigger one or smaller one, it's all up to you. Let me go back, Control Z. So what you will do is, like, again, as I mentioned before, you can just, like, if you wanted to resize of this element, you can group into like a view box, and then like for that view box, you can make it smaller. And maybe, you can just just give a background to like this thing, like this element, for example, like this, and then like having a different experience. Like, you can just give like that. So this is just a basic one, and then like, you can easily import anything there, and you can just use it as an element inside of your Blend project. And also at the same time, like, you can give some names, for example, as element, for example, this one, and then you can use in the code behind side, like moving it or just changing the color. You can do like lots of dynamic stuff on the code behind side. Like, it is all up to you again. So I will just remove this one, and again I just wanted to import Photoshop file. I will go to like this sample. So whenever you add like Photoshop, like if there are some layers, so you can see like this, you can just see all the layers, like the row 1, for example. You can just see it like the Instagram, Flickr, or something like that. You can see all of them. For example, when I click OK, I just downloaded this like Photoshop icons from a website. So what can you do is, like, you can just access all of them inside of there. Again, like, this was just a kind of open inside of the Photoshop when you open that. So this is just like pure drawings, and then you can see the same thing in like the XAML side as well. So this is really cool, and then you can see like this. At the same time, like, for example, if there is text, you can see the text, and then you will realize that like this text has been converted to this text block. And if you wanted to like change anything inside of that thing, for example, for example, if you remove one of them, and then you can say like 199 icons. So like, this one, you can just easily modify it, and you can just easily change it. For example, like this, Reddit. So if you wanted to like, to change vectoral drawing of it, like, oops, let's change to do like, ears or something like that. Like, you can easily do that. Like, this is just a basic one, and then you can easily use it. So what I will do is I will just remove all of them from here, and then you can easily get it. Yes, like, this is Eduardo's. Like, as mentioned, like, you can easily like, play inside of like your like animations or something like that, which is really cool. So the question is like, what if we have not, like vectoral layers? In that case, it will just save as a JPEG or image. Then, it will pop up, it will show inside of the application. So it won't be a problem. But in that case, like, it will be the same thing, like, saving that into a JPEG file and using it. But, again, like, that is just an option. For example, if you have a layer is not vectoral drawing, like, it will be saved as a transparent PNG, and then it will be integrated inside of the like project. Okay, so what will we do is right now, like, we will have a look at different resources. So XAMLproject.com. So if you're looking for like these kind of things, for example, you imported from Photoshop, or you imported from like the different places like Adobe Illustrator, what happened if you wanted to like use like a different XAML thing? For example, if you are looking for a user thing, user icon, so you can go to XAML project. Like, this is just a, I guess, like all rights reserved by the XAML project. You can go there and you can ask for permission at the same time. For example, there are some like user icons. So the good thing of this side is this is just Creative Commons, please take care of these rights. So for example, like this, you can just see in here, view of it, you can just download as a PNG, or you can just copy as a XAML. So when you copy as a XAML, so you can go back to your project. For example, let's say your grid view. So let me close this grid view in here. And then you can just pass it. Whenever you pass that, it is here, but it is in black. So you can just change the color of it. You can have the XAML of that icon, that flat icon. This is just really cool features. You can just use this kind of things, with referring this website, and then you can change some design of it. This is really cool. Whenever you make it bigger, the vectoral drawing will be the same as it is. So this is another cool stuff. So what will we do is, I just wanted to mention the animations. For example, let's put a really basic one, rectangle. I just wanted to have just a rectangle without a radius. This is great. Then I just wanted to have a text block. Text box, sorry for that. I have a text box, and then this text box will retrieve my value, and then this will be empty, and then I will have a button. Oops. I will have a button. Yep, here it is. So what will we do is, we will just play animation. So in order to do that, I just wanted to create a user storyboard, or I can use this existing one. So let me create a new one, and in play. Whenever I create this one, this is my rectangle, from 0, it will be here, but in 1 second it will be here. So whenever I play this animation, it will move right. So I guess you cannot see it well, but whenever you try it, you will see that transition very smoothly. But the good thing is, whenever I check for the XAML side of this animation, it is here, and in play. Oops. And in play. So what I will do is, whenever I check it, this is just defining my transform render, transform X. This means from the right side, I can see this animation. This is defined. This is defined key time at 0 seconds. So the value is 0. Okay. For second, the second one, first second. So the value will be around 339. So this means whenever I define anything there, so this will move like that. And at the same time, at the y axis, translate y, it is also the moving there as well. So you can see that 6. So if you don't want to move it to the y axis, you can just easily remove from here. You can do it automatically, or in the the blend, or at the same time you can just do it like this. So basically, whenever you play an animation, it will just move right. So what I will do is, I will just have an animation, have an event for display. Then I will write code. For writing codes, I just wanted to go back to Visual Studio because I feel more comfortable there. So I will just add a new click event handler, and then the good thing is animation name is anim begin, right? This is XAML, and then whenever you go back to there, you need to save that project, and then you need to build first. So I'm building the project right now. It's built successfully. Then right now I can easily, oops, yeah, we haven't saved it yet. Oops, okay, unin play. Whenever you close it, you will have this. I saved it, and then I will go back. XAML has been updated. Let me check it. XAML is here. Yes, unin play is here. Okay. Oh yeah. And also like, I just wanted to let you know, I made this mistake to show you. Like when this animation is played and when you change the name of that, for example, button, I changed it to play, but it won't appear. As you see, like, anim play timeline is recording. This means whenever you make some changes, that change will appear inside of like that animation, not in real life. So this means I can remove this one and I can go back and I can change the name from here. So in order to do that, I will go back. Okay, I will select the button and I will, go back there. I will build the project again. So project build succeeded, like, let's say, oops, again, it is not showing there. Oops. So animation has not been updated, so let me go back. So let me open the blend, like it will be here, resources. Okay, animation is here. So whenever I go there, let me like the clean solution and then like build the solution again. Yep, anim play is here. Sometimes it is happening, like, you need to like clean the solution and you need to rebuild it again, and then, you will have it. So it is really basic command, like, anim play our animation name, and then we will play that. So I will play this one, and then I will record that. Whenever I press button, like, I can just, send it there. So this is really good. So this means like, I can play any animations programmatically, like through the code behind side. So what if, like, we define in here like the static, like the 339. So what if I just wanted to have 100? So I change it through the XAML, and then whenever I play it, so in 1 second it will move like 100. You have seen that, right? So what if I just wanted to have a dynamic one? So in order to do that, like, you need to access to this value, right? So in order to access this value, like, we can access any single animations, like, I can access from the anim play, but I just wanted to give a name called, like SI defining any names, any object name in like, Blend or in XAML. I just define like this. And I just wanted to define like move X. This will be my value. And then, I just wanted to remove this one. So I just removed that and then I just gave it name, but the second is there. So what I will do is, again, I need to clean the solution and then I need to build it again. So like whenever I say like move X, I can access there. At the same time, for the value, I can give from here. For example, if I will give like the 600, what will happen? So whenever I give this one, I can easily, the control from my code. Like as you see, this has been 600. If I just wanted to give like 1000, what will happen? Let me see. So I will just play there, build the project, and then, run this application. Then whenever I play here, as you see, like, this has been moved to 1000 pixels, but I cannot see in my resolution. So this is good. We can do it programmatically. What if I just wanted to have it inside of my application by programmatically inside of the application? So this means I just wanted to get it from the text box. So the name is a text value. So this means if I just retrieve a value from the text value, like from the text, so let me convert it to the integer, 32. Then if I will build this application and run this, if I say like 100, so it will go 100. If I say like 500, so it will move 500. But as you notice that, like, whenever I press play, like it will start from this beginning again, because we define it inside of the XAML design animation. So for example, if I will go there, like if I will go to animation description, so it is just saying that, okay, like we are just retrieving dynamically to like the destination point, but like starting point is the same. Like, can I move this one? Can I remove it? Yes, I can remove it. So this means like whenever you press that anim play, this animation will move to this level, not like adding this value. This will just move to that point. So this means if you say like 100, it will start from here and move to 100. And then if you say like 500, it will continue to the 500. Then if you say like 1000, it will move to that side, like in 1 second, wherever you were. So like these are just the basics. Like if you wanted to deliver a really nice animations, like you need to define like this. So thanks for the answer. Ruben is asking that. This is the last question about Photoshop Blend. Don't ask last, if you have any question, just let me know. This Blend has an option which equivalent to layer mode, like overlay or linear dodge or something like that in the Photoshop. Like we don't have right now. So what can you do is you can just like basically design inside of there like just vectorally. For example, you cannot delete or you cannot like how can I say to change the like color of it. Like what can you do is you can do it in Photoshop, and then after that you can just define there like you can just get it into your project as a PNG file. So let's go back. So let me check it. There is another question. So this is okay. So the question is, what you did for starting next after the point which you were gave before. So what I did is like there was a starting point here. So at the beginning of the animations, like because we define inside of the XAML. So basically what can you do is you can just remove that like starting point, and then you can just like have this destination point. So that is the point, because if I will go back, so this was the like starting point. I just remove this one. So then after that, like this will just play as like it will move to that point like step by step. That's it. So this is okay. I guess I answered your question. So the another one, like we have lots of features, and then we are like kind of out of time. But I just wanted to make it like a kind of quick. So let me create a new application. So like we have some other features of like animations. So let me say like blend animations. So and also like I just want to design a Windows 8 logo like like this. So as you see, like we have some transitions. I just wanted to design the same thing in the vectoral drawing in my application. So like please don't leave. Like we will be a kind of over the time, and then you can get more details. So what will we do is, so basically I have a ready path, so I prepared before, and also you can see in my Turkish blog, but I won't go for the details. So this is just basically a kind of star, but not like star, but what I will do is I will just define an animation, so which will just like the turning like 360 degrees, and then I can make it like a different thing. So this is just a path. So what I will do is I will just open in Blend, and then like I just wanted to define it in like a different way. So what I will do is I will just create a new animations, like again like anim play, and then after that, so what I will do is I just select this one, and also like to do like this first second. So I just wanted to change the rotation of it. Like there's a transform, and under that transform, like you will see that like there will be angle. So let me go there. Like there will be angle. So whenever you change that, like your animation will move a bit. So what I will do is I will change to 360. So whenever you play these animations, like it will look like this. But whenever you like make it full screen, like you will get what I try to do. So like, and also due to your like lags and lack of things, so most probably you won't see that, you won't realize that, but most probably you will see that. So for example, please try to like to play on your PC as well. Like you will have a kind of really nice animations in there. So this is just a basic one, and what I will do is I will go back to like the code behind side. So I will just like save this one. I need to close this. I will just go back to my project in Visual Studio, and then I will like clean solution, and then I will build this one. And at the beginning of this project, when this project will be loaded, I just wanted to play these animations, like it will be like anim play begin. So let's play this one. So first of all, like you can see like this design, but whenever this completed like a 360 degrees, then it will stop. So what will we do? What should we do? Like in order to have an endless design, endless animation. So in order to do that, like you need to go to like storyboard anim play, and then you need to go there, and you need to go to rotation, and then like whenever you go there, like render transform, you need to right click there and edit repeat count. So this is saying that like 1 times. So you can put like 2 times, 5 times, 10 times, and also forever. So I will just pick forever, and then I will save it. I will just close this one, and then I will press F5 inside of the project. So like whenever I press F5, like it is just moving right and right and right. So like you can just see like this. Again, like you can just define a different color set inside of there. So let me select like like blue, and you can select like a different like gradient blues as well. So like whenever you change these kind of concepts, like you will have like these kind of stuff inside of your like application, which looks cool, right? So like to think about the scenario, like if you are preparing a game or something like that, like you can just like have this kind of stuff inside of your application. So is there any questions so far? Like to think about it, this is just a forever like animations, and then you can see like this, and then there are lots of stuff. And also like the last thing, we before we haven't forgotten to like implementing like these easing functions, like also you can ask for that. So for example, whenever you like I go back to my previous sample, so whenever you go back to like play animations, but we cannot see it right now because we removed the first one, and also we made it dynamically. So what can you do is like let me close this one, and let me create a new project. It will be easier to like to show it. Okay, this is just XAML, and this is just a blank. So what I will do is I will just create a easing functions. And also I have a sample on my like demo, like you can see there as well, like XAML animation libraries. So what can you do is like whenever you define some elements inside of your project, so let's say when you created there storyboard, so whenever you create there in 1 second, so what will happen, So for example, it will be here. So whenever you play this one, like as you see, this is just like so relevant, like now this is just in one directions. But you need to click this one at this point in order to give some easing functions. For example, let's say in out, for example, I'm using it a lot, like power. Like whenever you do it, like it is just first of all like moving slowly, then moving fast a bit. So like you can see that, and also you can change the power of it in order to like have a really strong one. So like and also you can change different one. For example, let's say like dropping effect. So if you want to give a dropping effect, for example, this will just move fast, but this is not happening like that. Think about this is just a plastic rectangle. So what will happen is like it will be elastic one, and then whenever like do that, like it will act like this. Or like whenever we check like the other stuff, like you can just see from here like or bounce effect. Yeah, like just bounce effect, like you can see there. But if you like define that bounce effect, it will look like it's just like dropping to the ground, and you can see it like this. This is just another one, and then it's like in the same project I just wanted to show you like different aspects, and also like let me close this animation. But the good thing is we have like different options. For example, like having an ellipse, and then like having a rectangle, like combining both like the two like the drawing together. So we have lots of options, like you can see that. So let me move a bit, and you can also like right click there, and you can see like the combine. Like if you say combine unite, so this will unite like the both like the two like elements together. So if I will go back with Control Z, I can move right click there again. I can combine. I can say divide, and then you can see like what will happen when it will be divided. Like you can see like those strokes as well. So let me go back, Control Z. If you right click there and if you combine like subtract or something like that, so you will see like the different reactions, like with those elements, and also you can define like the different things inside of your project. So for example, intersect or something like that. Like it is all up to you. Like to think about it. Like if you wanted to design something, or if you unite something, or if you want to have a different kind of shape, like you can these kind of like the features. So another thing, like we just wanted to have a kind of like a different view. For example, if you wanted to like to change the rotation, like we said that like you can change the angle of it. Or if you wanted to change the scale of it, like you can just like render transformation, like you can change it, or you can scale it. Like you can see like how it reacts. Let me remove this one. So you can see it whenever you change anything inside of there. Like you can change the like transformation, like you can change it there. At the same time, like like in different axes, like you can just like change this design. Let me give a different color there. Whenever you change the axis, like you can see that how it looks like X, Y, Z, like you can see in here, like you can change it. So this is just a good thing, right? Like you can just pick whatever you want, or play a bit, and then you have like the different extras and different shapes inside of your project. So I just wanted to have like the logo, like what we have on Windows. So what will happen? It looks like there's a kind of rotation. It's a kind of like a translation on the axes. What can I do is I can have first like the 4 different rectangles, and then like having a shape like that. So let me have a rectangle like this in order to have a window effect. Let me make it white, and then I will copy and paste the same thing with my keyboard, and also I will select both of them and I will copy and paste them like this. This looks okay. So let me unite them all together. This is one path right now instead of 4 rectangles. So what I will do is I just wanted to have like to play with the rotations. So for example, not this one, but like for rotation, I can just to change it, not x1, not z axis. Yes, like this will be like the y. So I guess nearly the same, but there is a distance, so we can just change the scale. Like we can just change the scale of like that path. So we can just select from here and we can just make it smaller or something like that. Like it is all up to you. Like you can just define it. Like you can make closer to each other, and then you can have the logo like that. It looks pretty same. Like with the logo, like it is just so easy one. So what I will do is I will just put a text box. And this looks so small. So what I will do is I will use my blend features again. Like I will right click there, edit style, and apply source. So there are like a couple of ready templates, like the header, like the subheader or subtitle, or like base text. Like it's all up to you. What I will do is I will need some big text. So I will say like header text. Whenever I select it, you can see it looks like this, but I just wanted to write like Windows 8.1. So but font is small. Like what I will do is I will just go to my the text section and I will just change the size of it, maybe 120. Yep, this looks nice, right? I have a logo, I have a text, and then I have enough things to my sessions. So whenever I play it, I can see whenever I run this application, but in terms of the text, it won't look the same. But if you change it, or if you fit to the page, so this will look pretty same, pretty the same thing like what we have on the logo. So let me change the size of the fonts to 100. Yeah. And then for the logo, you can change the size of it through here. It is all up to you. However you wish. These are just the basic, the features. If you use them in a correct way, you will have a really better and high quality design in your application. And also don't forget that we have an accent for our Windows 8. It is just like this. This is better right now. So do you have any questions so far? We just pretty design really cool stuff. We have seen lots of cool features of Blend. So what left? So the question is can we import 3D objects? For right now, we cannot do that. But in Silverlight and in WPF, we can import it. But for Windows Store applications, so we cannot do that. But what can you do is you can create a 3D, for example, Unity project, and you can have that project a page of the project. Do it the same for all different resolutions. Okay. So what can you do is you can just select this one, and my suggestion would be just grouping into the view box. So I just wanted to remove the stroke off this path because it doesn't look good. So this will be without a brush. So again this will be the view box. Okay, and this is just the grid. Okay, so what I will do is I can just make it smaller or make it bigger. So I just fit to the page. Whenever you change the screen sizes, again it will fit to the page. So like, it will look professional, and then there won't be any issue like with the vectoral like drawing. Like it will look very professional. Whenever you run this, it will look like this. I hope you like it. There are lots of features, there are lots of these kind of things, but we have very limited time, and also we are kind of out of our time. So thanks for listening. Like if you have any questions, let's move to the question part. Yeah, thanks a lot. Especially, this is just a like hidden treasure. So in our development platforms, like everyone is using like Visual Studio, or they are using like the XAML, but they don't know about like these kind of really cool features like the vectoral drawings, like importing into the project like directly, or just modifying with like these kind of little things. Just try to use it. Like this looks very, very nice. So guys, like if you have no questions, so thanks a lot for joining. Like if you have any questions, just let me know through my like contact address, through like from my like Microsoft email or my Twitter address. And also this recording will be available in my blog. And don't forget to join like our official group, near Windows 8 Champs, and then like hope to see you there. Okay, great. So like whenever you design something, like and also like this was a really big problem. So what we were facing in like the previous years, like designers design some really cool features, like cool design in the applications, but the developers couldn't implement those features into like their projects. But with this thing, like designers can design anything in vectoral thing, and then they can deliver this thing to developers, and they can easily implement into their project, even they don't have to touch that. So like they are just wearing out. Like I have shown you like the main influencer application. Like this is the same. Like this project developed in like several weeks, and then this design has been like word up like or implemented in like maybe in a couple of days. So like you can do the same thing. Like designers can design, and developers can develop their application separately and on the same project. Thanks to someone. So thanks guys for joining. Hope to see you on next call, like in next week. So hope to see you there. Bye bye.